happy weekend. Okay, I think I got the audio dialed in. We're here. We made it through another week. We got like the whole dang crew in here first thing. Thanks, guys. Makes me really excited to get streaming with you all. Bonk, thanks for being first today. You beat Kimmers. She was gaming. Almost missed the stream. A tragedy. Hi, Wilson. Welcome. We got Amp Mods in here. I haven't seen you in forever. Welcome in. Cookie, what's happening? Just a lazy Saturday, rainy and grim. Guys, it still hasn't stopped snowing. 4 days now. 4 days. I don't even know what to say. And Cookie, you saw a post on Insta about Yoho National Park by Banff. I don't know if I've ever been to Yoho National Park. I haven't spent a ton of time around the Rockies, around that part, more like Jasper where we usually go because it's just closer to Edmonton. But I still need to, go explore around that area. It's quite popular, like Banff, because it's near Calgary and it's like a little bit warmer down there, right? I just find it's always like much more busy with people, the Banff and Canmore area compared to Jasper. Welcome yet it is, and hello 4:20 a.m. radio. You won a pizza on a radio show today? That sounds amazing. Congratulations. I was kind of laughing at this one post I seen online the other day. It's like, remember when you had to call into the radio station to request a song, and now you can just like ask Alexa to play a song for you instantly? The times, right? How times have changed. And we've had like, it hasn't been like solid. It's just like a bunch of snow and then it'll stop for like 20 minutes and then it'll snow again and then it'll stop. So it's just these like crazy little cloud systems rolling around. It makes me laugh because this should be the end of the snow, I think, for the year. You won lots of stuff doing that on weekends late night? Yes, yeah. Getting onto radio stations late night was much easier than trying to do it during the day, right? Get so mad when you can't get through either. Good times. Okay guys, we're gonna get cooking today. I got a ham for free, let's say again this week. So that is what we will be making for lunch/early dinner. Honey mustard ham. I'll show you how we usually cook it. It's really simple and easy. We make our own honey mustard too. Going with homemade scalloped potatoes. So we'll follow the Serious Eats recipe that I linked because it is delicious. And then just some simple like brown butter corn because I love ham and potatoes and corn. It just goes really good together. And it's quite inexpensive too, this meal. And then for tomorrow's stream for Greek's ramen that he requested us to make, we have to prepare the Chashu pork belly today so that it sits in that like soy sauce broth overnight and absorbs all the flavors. And then it'll be good to go for our ramen soup tomorrow. It's so funny, right? Yet it is, and it's like the biggest like snowflakes, the biggest turkey feathers because it's so warm. But then it's like, as soon as it falls on the street, it just melts because the ground is so warm already. Yes, yeah, totally, Bonk. The busy signals on the phone, then you hear it ringing. Heart rate just starts going. Okay, so this ham, this is our beautiful chunk of ham that I picked from the store on Friday morning. So $27 this would have costed me to buy, but they have a thing like usually around the holidays, right? We've been noticing this. Last week we got a turkey for free with 18,000 points, and then this was free this week as well as the turkeys. So like you could literally stock up your deep freeze. This was only 10,000 points. You shop at Save On too, so like definitely take advantage of that because that's crazy. Eric, thank you very much. 4 years in a row of resubs being with the kitchen crew. I hope you're good, dude. But yeah, like even this price, $27 for 2.4 5 kilos of ham. Let's also say this though, bonk, is you're paying by weight and there's a bone in here. So just keep that in mind as well, right? You're always gonna lose a little bit of the weight from the bone, but I really like to buy ham like this. It's usually called like a carving ham is what I look for, because I'll always save the bone after roasting so that we can make split pea ham soup. So we'll probably make that next week on stream from all of the leftovers from this. Yeah, I was shocked, Kimmers. At first I was like, you know what? Like, I have so much food in the freezer already to use up. And then I was like, no, like, you can't really pass up this deal. So I got it and I'm excited for it. So I probably won't make a very big dent in that today, but if you cook ham right, it's really good leftover. And there's a lot of different applications that you can use it with, right? Sandwiches, like you can eat it cold, hot, up to you. Here's all of our recipes, my peoples. Let's make a little prep list and away we go. Yes, yeah, good to snack on the ham with the cheese plate. I know like kids also really love ham. It's easy to feed them that if they're a little picky. Yum, I've never done a ham stir fry, but the other one I was excited for is to make like little ham breakfast egg cups as well in the muffin tin. Ham is great for using up in breakfast or omelets. So yeah, I thought, you know what? There's so many different things we can do with all that ham. Get it. All right, so first things first, we'll get the ham into the oven because that will be our longest cook time for the day. This chunk is not very big. Let's do a little comparison. So when we would do these carving hams on Sundays for work, they're really big, right? Like it's basically like the whole leg of the pig. So it's a very large piece, like not even making this up. It's a huge piece of ham. So they take about like 4 hours in the oven, low and slow rate. Well, this one, I did take it out a little bit ago, so it is starting to warm up. I'm gonna do it starting 1 hour in the oven with a little bit of like broth under to steam it is the best way. And then we'll check it and decide after that in 30-minute increments. So ham prep, let's say there's not a ton of prep that you have to do to this until later when we carve it. And then let's say roast, I'm gonna do a 325 Fahrenheit. And like I said, that 1 hour to start. Okay, after the ham, we'll start working on our scalloped potatoes because that's the next longest task. I really like this recipe that I linked from Serious Eats because you steep the milk and cream for the scalloped potatoes with a bit of aromatics first. And then you just slice the potatoes right into the hot milk. So it makes the baking process quicker, right? Going into that warm milk. And then we can choose whatever type of cheese that we want to put on it. I was thinking brie would be so delicious. Brie scalloped potatoes with some ham and corn. Okay, so I'll do milk first for a scalloped. Slice the potatoes and then bake. Usually scalloped potatoes take like almost an hour, right? Or close to it. I'm not making a really big batch today because it's just me. So we're just gonna do this little small like bread pan. Let's say we'll fill it up and this should give me like a good 4 portions worth, which is more than enough. So it might actually bake quicker than like the big pans that we usually do. I do have some marble cheddar. I have cheddar, brie, aged Gouda, feta, but I'm not gonna put feta cheese in there because it's too expensive to use for that application. Okay, so let's see, I'm just gonna look at the recipe, see the bake time on that. It is for me, yeah. Hi, Blood Oak. How are you doing today? Okay, what do they say? So yeah, they say bake it for an hour and then remove the foil, but they made like a dish that's probably 3 times the size of mine. So I usually give it a 30-minute timer and then take the foil off and let it start to brown up. Hello, Johnny Rodden. I guess you can call me Cheddar then. Why? Okay, so 375 Fahrenheit for the potatoes. If we need to have it a bit lower, we can if the ham is still in the oven, right? Finishing up. And I'll say 30 mins. You got color, pop, and flavor. You're my favorite, dude. Okay, our buttered corn is probably the simplest task of the day. We're just gonna use some frozen corn, quickly blanch it in a salty water pot, and then toss it in some browned butter that we made on yesterday's stream. I snuck brown butter into my brother's birthday chocolate cake. So we made sure that we made extra brown butter yesterday when we did that. I'll just take that out, kind of let it temp up because it's quite hard right now. Remember as a kid, you and your Vado? Did I say that right? Vado? Is that your grandpa? You called in, requested Rush Rush by Paula Abdul. Had to wait half an hour before the DJ played it, but you still waited, right? Is there a way to adjust the potato time for 325 so we don't have to wait for the ham? Like you want to cook it all together at the same time, you're saying? It'll really depend on the size of your ham, right? And how much potatoes you're making. I'm gonna try to cut it as close as possible today so that it will be all ready at the same time. Let's see how it goes. Oak, you haven't figured out how you're doing? Sometimes, yeah, those kind of days just happen where you just like are wandering around aimlessly. You don't even know what to do with your life. That usually tells me that I need to not do stuff, right? Kind of digital detox yourself and just take some time alone. But yeah, maybe start working up some more momentum for yourself by cleaning something first and then seeing if that gives you more energy, right? Vado is like your homeboy. I love that word. That's cool. Nice. You're making a Godzilla piece today, Nike? Okay, I'm gonna finish this list. Corn, blanch, and butter. And season too. Sometimes I do like a Cajun seasoning on the corn. It's yummy for like a little bit of spice in your life. Just salt and pepper is good too though. One thing I will say is don't not season your frozen veggies because they're so bland if you just leave them plain. Wilson, that's the first step to success. You made your bed. Good job. Okay, and then lastly on our list, the Chashu pork belly for Greek. I'll probably finish the Chashu on my own because it has to simmer in the broth for a few hours, but we'll definitely start it together and then finish it on tomorrow's stream. You need to find me a Mexican street corn bowl recipe to make. We've made a street corn casserole before, and that is really delicious on stream, but is like the bowl kind of like a burrito bowl thing, which I am definitely down for. I love Mexican food. Aw, Oak, yeah, you want to be with Lauren, but it's hard. Well, I will say you and I are in the same boat here, sir. So we are not alone. Hi, Michael, welcome. It's like ice cream in a cup versus in a cone. It's true. It's sort of like a casserole bonk. I'm always down for corn things. Can't wait for summertime when we get the fresh cobs. Okay, let's get into this ham I am. And get this oven on. Boom. And I think I slept funny last night, guys, because like my shoulder is really sore. It feels like I was doing like shoulder presses all night. But I don't think I was in my sleep. The peaches and cream, yes please. Okay, we have our baking dish, which from experience, if you don't line this with foil, there's like sugars and stuff in the ham when they brine it, and those sugars will reduce and could like burn on and just make this a heck of a time to clean up later. It would be like an overnight soak. So line it with foil, save yourself some time. I might even do the parchment layer underneath too. And then the only other thing we need is like a little oven rack to pop it off of the bottom of the pan. A roasting rack, if you will. What are you guys doing? Oh no, my foil sprung a hole. I think it's high enough up that it won't affect it. It doesn't have to be like amazing looking. It just has to be functional. I think this little roasting rack I have, it's like a half-size one. I'm pretty sure it fits in the bottom of this Lloyd pan. There's only one way to find out. Oh, what the heck? It's so close. I might just like leave it kind of popped up there. It's not gonna move. Okay, we're good. We're good to go. So first thing I think I'll do actually, let's come back in a bit more. D Lance 03, thanks for the follow. We're gonna pour some liquid down here. If you have broth, by all means pour some broth. I'm gonna pour some turkey broth down there. But we've also just done water in the past and that works good too. I think you can buy pre-cut parchment. I don't know about the foil, but I know you can buy pre-cut parchment sheets. I'm sure it's like way more expensive though, right? The gelatinous stuff. I'm just gonna do all of this. And then rinse that out too with some water. Don't waste it. Maybe even a bit more. I usually pour enough liquid to cover the whole bottom. Because it will slowly reduce, right, as it cooks. You can call me Lance or just D. I think we'll call you Lance because that's pretty easy to remember and read. Welcome, welcome in. Okay, now we're getting into this. I also, like, when I was picking this chunk of ham, I made sure I picked the one with, like, the really nice kind of fat cap around the top. Some of the other ones were pretty lean looking, and that's gonna help keep the meat moist as we reheat it. Don't call you late for dinner. Love it. This piece is so weird. It's okay though, just take it off. Boom. Look at that. That's gonna be delicious. Look at how, like, marbled it is. Okay. So, I think we'll just set it on there. Fat cap side up. I'm just gonna pour these, like, bag juices down here. Probably, right, Bonk? Yeah, that bone would totally pierce through that plastic. The other way we've also done it, but I think it'll be hard to wrap it, is to do it this way with, like, the bone sitting up. But I think this will work just fine today for us. So let me just do a little wash up and then I'll go get hopefully just one piece of foil to cover, a big one. I used some leftover turkey broth I had, but even if you just use water, it'll be good because the ham juices will, like, drip into it, and then you can save that for soup the next day. Sounds good. Thanks for the lurk and thanks for popping in today. It was nice to meet you. And yeah, turkey or chicken is quite a light broth. That would go well with pork, right? Yeah, now this is going to steam with the broth, so the steam's gonna rise up and slowly heat the ham. We'll check it after an hour. Biggest piece of foil ever. Maybe I don't need it that big. Now we tuck the baby in, I usually say. Nice and tight. Make sure the steam will stay inside. Try not to make a hole in the foil. It's okay if there's, like, a little bit of space or movement of the foil. Just do your best. Okay. I'm gonna try and wrap this a bit tighter over here. Also, don't make it too hard for you to take the foil off when we have to check on it later, right? Because you don't want to, like, make a hole or tear it. So that's gonna go in the oven now, just in the middle rack, and we'll set our hour timer. 325 Fahrenheit. I think I have to take out this other oven rack, actually, or just move it down for now. that's a big chunker. Usually something like this, like if you start to smell it and like it's smelling like really good, like making you salivate, it's probably heated through, right? Kind of a good way to measure it. But set the timer anyways, because then you take the guesswork out of it. Okay, now we're gonna get into our scalloped potatoes. I think first things first, we need to get a pot with some milk and aromatics in it. Let me scroll down to this. So they say combine cream, milk, garlic, shallots or onion, nutmeg, thyme, peppercorns, and salt. Bring it to a boil. Remove from the heat and let it steep a little bit while you slice the potatoes and stuff. They say let it steep for an hour, but I'm not gonna take that long. That's crazy talk. Ain't nobody got time for that. This pot is like overkill, but that's okay. And then I have to remember to scale down the recipe, right? Because I'm not making a really big pan. So I'll go like half of the recipe, and hopefully that'll be good. The cookie, thank you very much for the 1,799 bits. Cookie says Misha's in here. Mwahahaha. Evening it up. I appreciate you. Okay, so we need 1 cup of cream, half cup of milk. Maybe I will get my smaller saucepan then. And just some garlic cloves smashed, some onions sliced, and some spices. We'll get the smaller pot. The one thing about the pot that you use to steep the cream, it does have to be able to fit the sliced potatoes into it, right? For the amount that you're gonna make, so keep that part in mind. Milk. Cream. This is one of my favorite pans, Cookie. It's great for sauces, I will say. I also saw one of my favorite YouTubers, she got this like old set. I think it's Le Creuset. And it's this like beautiful forest green color. I was like, oh, it looks so dang nice. Have I tried cooking recipes from the form of curry? No, I haven't. Have you? So 1 cup of cream. Thanks for the follow, John's FFG. So we can get this heating up on the stove while we slice the onion and smash the garlic. What is with people always coming and calling me auntie, guys? Is this like a running joke going around with the younger generation? Or I'm just like giving off auntie vibes. I mean, I am an auntie. I saw my niece dog yesterday. Okay, so just pop that on medium heat for now. Grab some onion, garlic. I don't think I've ever made scalloped potatoes like this. I know you're joking. It's still funny to me though, because we had someone yesterday do it too. I am young. I am youthful. I don't know if I am young. Okay, cut that dry stuff out of there. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna do a bit of julienne pieces. Just slice nice and thin. So you get lots of surface area for the flavor to absorb. I am married, and I would not consider myself to be a housewife. Okay, popped those onions right into there because that was easy. They said only 2 cloves of garlic. So we're gonna go those ones for half of the recipe. Because like 2 cloves, that's nothing. I thought that was crazy, Bonk. 2 cloves? Do you even taste it? Peel it up. I have 0 children. Wilson, I think you tagged the wrong Johnny, but it's okay. Nike's gonna come after you now. Yeah, R. Wester, you're child-free too? Okay, let's switch this view and then we'll just add the herbs right into there. Oh no, let's do this one. Did you know garlic is so good for the health that the nickname, or that it had the nickname Russian penicillin? It is so good for you. I almost use it, I would say, every day. Good morning, White Dove. Nike is baking, no problem, right? Okay, garlic and onion are steeping. Just gonna wash the garlic off of my hands. Put that stuff back in the fridge. And then we need thyme and nutmeg. And just some salt, I think it said. We really are garlic connoisseurs here. I'm just using some dried thyme. Because that's not in season right now. A pinch of the nutmeg, which is so yummy, it's gonna make it almost like a bechamel flavor. Do you have to go outside to go to your laundry area, Bonk? Okay, now on the way back, I'll grab the potatoes. I'm using Yukon Golds, not russets like they said. I think we'll mandolin them today, just because that's the easiest. So what, probably 3 potatoes to fit in that pan with everything. I live in Canada. Apartment laundry room is attached to the building outside. That's very like California, I feel. Oh, good tip. I like that. For a date, if you go on a date and you're having garlic for the meal, order lemon water, because the lemon will like contrast the garlic and make you not, I mean, it won't take it all away, but it'll definitely help with the garlic breath. Need to come closer, guys, or what? Just gonna give that a little stir. But I can already see it's coming up to a simmer on this one side. So all they said was to bring this to a boil and then take it off the heat. That's it. I'm gonna go grab my mandolin while we're waiting. And the cut glove. Praise be to Jesus rice. Thanks, Torino. I know, I don't want to answer them anymore because I feel like I'm getting interrogated. It's true. I'm glad you guys feel the same. Am I on like a speed date right now on live stream? Oh, now we're assuming religions. Oh gosh. I'm not even gonna entertain that. Okay, grab a vegetable peeler. I'm just gonna start cleaning up the potatoes. Yeah, I'm a 9,000-year-old unicorn. Hello. Are we just a bunch of assholes? A little bit, but it's okay. Should we boil it more than this? I don't think so. That's it. We done did it. Good work, team. Grab the trivet. We'll bring it over to the cutting board and just pop it on the corner. Pop our potatoes in there. I'm not angry. Trust me, you would know. But then what do we do with all these aromatics? We just like let it chill? Or do we strain it? Do we strain it out? Cookie? I don't think I've met Angry Kate and not sure I want to. Wayne, is it scary? Yep. He says yeah. Okay, so I lied. We let this steep for a little bit and then we strain the milk out of the solids. And then we put the potatoes into there after. So we can start slicing the potatoes and then strain it after we're done and then bring it all together. And then they used Gruyere and Parmesan cheese for this. They layered the potatoes and the cheese. And then you just pour in the milk afterwards. Cover with foil and bake it. Okay. So Bonk said, while we're letting this steep, Bonk asked for cheddar. And I was saying brie would probably be really yummy with the potatoes. So let's get our cheeses ready. Then we'll do our potatoes, strain the milk. And they do look similar, it's true. What work does my husband do? He works up at a gold mine. Parmesan cheese is weird. You feel like you're in woodworking class to shave a piece of wood onto your food. It's funny, right? Brie inside, cheddar on top. You got it, sir. Sounds like a plan, man. I think I'll just grate it right off of here rather than getting a chunk. Just kind of tuck it into the plastic. Okay, so if this is for the topping, and we already know the size of pan we're gonna use, we only need enough to cover that, right? I mean, if you have extra, you can always throw it inside of the mixture with the potatoes, right? No one's gonna complain. Y'all ever worked for Parker and his granddad, the Gold Rush show? No, we've only ever worked for the one mine in Nunavut. That's it. And I'm still trying to get back up there. We'll see. Have I tried brown cheese from Norway? I don't think I ever have. Have you? Yeah, just start eating the sauce, right? Oh my gosh. Just like mix pasta with that sauce. Yes, please. Boom. Let's just grab a container. Put that in. I was also thinking about the brie to use this up. I have like leftover cooked turkey breast. Turkey and brie together on a sando. Deadly. I look like a good cook? Thanks. Sometimes looks can be deceiving though. Mikey, you're just like over it. Go get your laundry, Bonk. Hopefully you don't melt. Okay, cheese topper. Completed. That to the side for now. Next one, brie for in the potatoes. I'm not making a ton, so I'll probably just cut this nub. You eat the brown cheese once a week. You live in Norway. A slice of bread with brown cheese with raspberry jam on top is like national food. That reminds me of like how they eat cheese and bread and jam in Denmark too. But it's just different ingredients of cheese, bread, and jam. Samo doesn't like triple cream brie. He only really likes the double cream. I almost just put it into the sauce. Did you guys see that? I mean, it probably wouldn't have been bad. And then we can use the rind up and everything. Maybe I'll just pop that on top of here to live for now. It's so sticky and messy too. That's gonna be good. Okay, wash this up. Definitely wash the cheese off your knife, otherwise it'll stick and get really hard to clean off. You would cut the cheese, Nike. A photo of two Norwegians outside a cottage in the snow with a pair of skis behind them, wearing a Marius sweater and eating bread with brown cheese is like stereotypical. That sounds lovely. That sounds like the way of life that I want. Okay, we just have to clean up some of the sad parts of the potato before we slice it. This one, let's see how deep it is, but it looks, yeah, sometimes it's scary. We gotta use a knife. Not often. Is that like the only part? Okay, a little bit on that side. Just anything that won't taste good, because this will make it taste like kind of moldy, right? And dirty. But the rest of the skin, try to leave on as much as possible. Let's trim that end too, because it's gross. Nice. That's not bad for cleaning up potatoes, and that's all we took off. Good work. Yeah, like they used russet in this recipe because they said the starch would help it just kind of get a little bit more like thicker, the sauce and stuff like that. But I find making it with the Yukon Golds, it works no problem too. Like there's so much nutrients in the potato skin, and like you really waste a lot of food if you peel everything like that. So I always try to use as much of the skin as possible. And yeah, these are like so creamy. I find that they hold up to a lot of different applications though. How do I want to do this? Yeah, probably this way. It'll be weird if we tried to go the long way, I think. Maybe not though. Let's see. That's looking good. And you do want nice thin slices like that. I wouldn't go any thinner. You could maybe go a little bit thicker, but I wouldn't go any thinner. Yeah, this is a German brand of mandolin that Sam ordered, and it seriously works amazing. We've used it in restaurant before too, and it's literally like indestructible. 'Kay, Okay, that's the limit for me when it starts to get a little bit hard. To swipe it, that's what you end up with. I wouldn't even separate this, right? Because as soon as it touches the air, it's gonna start to go brown. And we're not quite ready to put it in the milk. Just leave that little potato parcel up top. Yeah, like I don't often use a mandolin, but for certain things like this, when you want a really even slice, or same with like if you're doing cabbage for coleslaw and it's all consistent. What? You eat potatoes raw? I thought that's bad for you. Or is that just an old wives' tale? Yes, yeah, mandolin is a musical instrument, also a cooking tool. That one was thin enough that we can reuse it. But this other piece I need to just cut in half with my knife. Okay, last one. That'll be good. I feel like I don't have enough like liquid, guys. But maybe it's deceiving, right? When it gets coated with the potatoes. That's amazing, Vogax. I will eat like a lot of veggies raw. I'm with you on that. Even the weird ones, yeah, like the root veggies, like rutabaga. Just snack on it while you're prepping, right? I won't like sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna snack on my raw rutabaga now. But I'll have a couple bites. There's probably more potato than we need. That's it though. So now I always rinse this off, otherwise the starch really sticks on. And then this glove is really easy, just throw it through the wash. A wash and a dry, no problem. I mean, I was also the kid that ate like the frozen corn and peas when my mom was prepping it for dinner. So I guess we all have our little things, don't we? Okay. Let's strain this. I guess we don't really have to strain it into a bowl. Like we can just strain it right into the baking pan, right? Save ourselves dishes and an extra step. Hi, Red Syrup, how are you? I also really like this recipe because there is photos linked with it so you can see what you should be doing in every step. You're like one of those raw pasta eaters that crunches on it. I used to do that too, actually. Okay, they do say to grease the dish with some butter and then start layering the potatoes in with the cheese. I'll show you what to do with that one. I got a little trick. You're doing well? Awesome. I am happy to hear that, my friend. Okay, so we're just gonna cut like a cube of butter, let's say, that you can hold on to. It doesn't have to be huge. This is something I learned working at a restaurant, and I had to always like be buttering cake pans and stuff. Which can really get annoying and take a lot of time. just realized I didn't put the other cheese away. Get back in there. Okay, so we're just gonna take our nub of butter, hold on to it, and just like swipe it around the pan. Create this even layer on the bottom and all along the edges too. Rather than trying to like mess around with melted butter and like a pastry brush or something. And literally the extras we can just pop down there. Nothing bad is going to happen from that. I guess I don't have to wash my hands off. So we'll start grabbing our potatoes. And you want to kind of shingle them. See how I layer them on top of itself like that? When it's a big potato like this, it makes it really easy to do that, right? I'm gonna do 2 layers before we put cheese. You learn to use a paper towel and room temp butter, Gers. Nice. Kind of the same, totally, I would say. Same, but different for sure. Okay, now I'll wash the starch off my hands. And I'm also going to sprinkle a little bit of salt. And I think pepper in between each potato layer, because we haven't added any seasonings yet. Oh, this paring knife, I literally got for free once upon a time from a grocery store. And it's honestly surprising how much I love it. Like, the handle is so nice to use. The brand is called Vivo, but my other chef's knife that I use is a Shen. I usually don't go too crazy with buying like fancy paring knives because I consider that kind of like a throwaway knife. I don't use it always in the nicest of ways. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. You can tell by their like nice yellow hue and thin skin. Thanks, Bonk. Okay, so we said brie inside. I'm not gonna go like crazy with it, right? Because it's just gonna melt into the butter and cream. Let's do our next layer. I think we definitely sliced way more potatoes than we would ever need. Is this gonna work with the brie? I guess when it melts, it will compact, right? I'm not even gonna worry about it. You have a couple brand knives that you really love? Definitely having a good sharp knife. We always say a dull knife is a dangerous knife, right? Because you don't really know what it's gonna do. Just layering up a bit in this corner where it's kind of like low. Same with over here. Take these little thicker sort of nubbins. And yes, that too, Bonk. Having a steel to hone your knives. Which, like, even me, I catch myself being bad with my knife sometimes, right? I don't hone it nearly as much as I should. It's feeling good. Okay, next seasoning and cheese layer. Lauren's uncle makes knives? Cool. It's handy knowing people that make knives. And then you can say that you have something unique, right? That no one else has, because usually they're one-offs. This is gonna be my last layer of the brie. Let's do 2 more layers and that's probably it. I'm really like looking at our amount of liquid here and thinking, it might not be enough. We'll see. The cheapest one is 600 USD. What the heck? That's like my rent payment. Oh, it's gonna melt and spread through the layers, Wilson. We'll see later when we go to serve it. It's probably gonna be like a molten mess. In the best of ways, though. Okay, that was 1 potato layer. 1 more. Nice, you posted a link. Let's see this. You've never had brie cheese? It's Sam's favorite cheese. The one with the purple wood? My gosh. That's the thing with like looking at knives. How do you not buy it? Holy. Brie is about to be extinct? No. Nike, please. Oh wait, that was the 2 layers. Okay, we're completed. That's not too bad of leftover potatoes. Don't ask me what I'm gonna do with it yet. The best way to keep those now that they are sliced though, just pop them in some cold water in the fridge and they won't turn brown. Okay, last seasoning. For sure, right? I would say anything like kitchen-wise. Like if you're spending that little bit more extra, it's probably gonna last you almost your whole life. Oh. Make some kettle chippies. I do have an oven rack. Season them up. Bonk. Eat that with some onion dippy. Thanks for saying that actually, Michael, because I was gonna make a little note. I forgot. The boxed scalloped potatoes, not a bad product, for sure. It would definitely save you all of this time that we just took doing this. And they can seriously be tasty if you add a little extra love into there. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, whoa, it's really liquefied. Let's just give this like a swirl. The little milk raft that builds up on top. I have a spoon over here that I saved. You know the other thing? I want to like see if this actually absorbed any flavor. It's like sweet and oniony, and you can taste the nutmeg. I don't really taste the thyme too much yet, but that'll probably come out more when it cooks. Yeah, like we usually make the boxed with milk and like we add extra butter. Or if I'm feeling really crazy, I'll put in some leftover Mornay sauce from mac and cheese night. You got options. I honestly feel like this is not enough liquid. But at the same time, it honestly might be, because it's literally just peeking out underneath these last 2 layers we did. And I'm just gonna press this out. Because when we pop the foil on, it's gonna create steam, and then that will start to cook the potatoes down, and it should drop below the milk. Has anyone bought a box of those pre-made scallops lately? I forgot to look in the store how much they cost right now, but it probably cost a lot of money is what I'm thinking, because even just the instant mashed potato flakes I found were very expensive. Just grabbing a small foil to cover this. And then I think she's going in the oven, guys. Why not, right? We just need the cheese on top. The cheese layer should help that not dry out too. Should we put all of it? Trick! You've tried making scalloped potatoes, but each recipe isn't very good. I think we've made this one before on stream because it was already posted in Discord. And so I said, I'm gonna make this again. So hopefully this is a really good one. Usually Serious Eats recipes don't let us down. They're tried and true. My trick question. We use all the cheese? If someone said no, just instant ban. Hey, tuck this baby in now. And that's really why I like to make these dishes together too. Because like you got 2 components of your dish in the oven together. Don't even have to worry about it. You would consider the Instaban? Hilarious. You've been mowing? I almost said moving. All of you guys mowing your grass? What? That sounds so foreign to me because I look outside and it's all white. Okay, in the oven we have 16 minutes on our 1-hour timer. Let's just set another timer. And we'll do 30 minutes on that one for the potatoes. Although, okay, let me also say this one note about mowing like really early in the spring. This is something I've seen online. Is like bunnies and certain little animals like that nest in the ground, they still have their nests in the grass at this time, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. If you live somewhere that there's a lot of wildlife, maybe wait to mow your grass. Like same with different types of bees and stuff. You have 4 dogs, so yeah, you won't have any rabbits in the yard. Yeah, you're good to go, right? Nice red syrup. So $150 US for a box of scalloped potatoes last week on the grocery receipt. And hi, Mickey, welcome in. Okay, let me look on my store. Let me just get these potatoes in so they can start to cook. Ooh, it's smelling kind of hammy in the oven. And I want to do a little price comparison. Sweet, Mickey, you're setting up the fish tank. How's it going? How many fishes do you have, by the way, or are you gonna get? Okay, and Michael, you looked at the price too? The Betty Crocker one was $2.68. The Idaho ones are less expensive. I would have felt like the Idaho is the better quality. I'm almost there, guys. Wait, what? We can't even get the boxed scallop. Let me see. Maybe it's just Betty Crocker. Okay, we just have Betty Crocker brand at the one store I'm looking. And right now it's on sale 2 for $5 boxes. That ain't too bad. I'd have to look at my Costco receipt and like see how much our bag of potatoes was first, right? And then I'd have to go and do all of my costing and do a comparison that way. And then a lot of the times we have to compare like the time versus money, right? Because you're always gonna spend more money on things that save you time. Check the Walmart, okay. So kind of same prices then we can say, right? Because Canadian, I'm paying a little bit more money than you guys are. Because our dollar is shit. I don't often shop at Walmart, but I feel like these packaged things might be less expensive at Walmart. They just have like more of an in with all of those brands, I feel. Yeah, I guess we can't get Idaho brand scallop potatoes in the regular grocery store. That is so weird because like we can order the big industrial size boxes of it for restaurants. And yeah, it's still $2.97. Or sorry, it is 2 for $5 even at Walmart. So there we go, guys. You're looking at your Walmart. One box was $1.84. Holy, the Idaho box was way more expensive there. That's crazy. Because it was cheaper for Michael. You have Walmart there, Mickey, but it's called ASDA. I miss all of the European grocery stores. The Aldi. I freaking loved Aldi. Like every time I saw one, I got so excited. I know some places actually in the States have Aldi too, right? That is really odd, right? Like to me, those prices should be pretty consistent across the country. But as you can see, the different states are charging different amounts for different products. Tesco is good too, Mickey. Okay, what was I grabbing here? A container for our leftover potatoes. And then I suppose we'll get into the pork belly chashu next. Yeah, you have Aldi where you're at, Cookie? Red Syrup, did you get the Idaho ones because you like the brand more? Or that's just what they had? Okay, taters packed in the water. They're not gonna go brown. It's also really good for using up thinly sliced potatoes like this. Like, use it as the base of a frittata. I almost lost my veggies. Yeah, layer those out, kind of like scalloped potatoes, and then pour your egg mixture over to bake the frittata. So good. Okay, maybe one thing before we start the pork belly is let's just get a little pot of salted water on the stove top and set it up for our corn, because that's really the last thing, other than making the honey mustard and carving the ham. Also washing all the starch off of the cutting board. This potato starch is evil. It'll stain everything. And then I just popped this out of the fridge so it can start to warm up, because we have to like roll these in a little medallion for the chashu. Yeah, you get them because that's what your family likes. Every time we made scalloped potatoes at work, people went crazy for it. It's like they never had it before. Never see them happier. So it just goes to show those like old school sort of home style casserole dishes. Always a good one to go with, right? Most people like that. Gonna do a good pinch of salt over here. And then I suppose we can take our corn out of the freezer. Let it start to thaw up. I lost some of my hair. I chopped off my hair last week. Just one day after my shower. I've been saying I was gonna do it for forever. So then I just did it one day. And like, it feels so dang good. Yeah, I've no regrets on that one. But you really can't go wrong with potatoes, cheese, and butter. Corny. Just below your ears by accident? I probably could have went shorter, but I didn't want to like shock myself into this. It's like you can always cut more off later, right? But it takes a while for it to regrow. How much corn do I want to make? Maybe like 3 cups? Actually, I want 3 cups. I mean, 1 cup of corn is probably a portion. Yeah, let's do 3. The only thing for like the lengthwise for me is I always have to be able to like pop my hair in a ponytail, right? That was my only stipulation. Good thing we're using this corn up. It's starting to get frosty. That's when you know it's near the end of its freezer life. Maybe that too, right? Red syrup is like when springtime comes, you're ready for like a little refresh. Cut your hair. Get ready for summer. What is brown butter? Brown butter is just butter that we cook on the stove top and clarify until it starts to turn golden brown. That is simply it, Wilson. And it is really delicious. And it has this nutty flavor to it. that it kind of reminds me like the smell of theater popcorn. Kind of has that sort of smell when you use it. It's very addicting. And it doesn't take long to make. For like an easy way to just elevate a simple dish like buttered corn, well, let's use brown butter instead. Yes, yeah, your baseball haircuts, or like I grew up with a lot of hockey players, so that too, all of their hockey hair, so funny. Okay, where are we on our list as well? Ham is roasting. Nice. We're only 4 minutes away for our timer on the ham. Let's not start anything yet. Scalloped potatoes are in the oven. I think for the corn, we'll just do salt and pepper with the brown butter. Keep it really simple. And then maybe the last thing before we start the chashu is we'll just mix up a little bit of honey mustard for the ham after it's been carved. And then we're good to go. Just do that in a small bowl. You can use yellow mustard for this. I'm gonna use Dijon because that's what I have. We'll see how it is, just the mustard and honey together. And if we need anything else. Often I will use, like at work, since it's really hard to make like a massive batch of honey mustard, we usually just kind of doll up the pre-made sauce by adding more mustard and honey and then some, I think, clove and nutmeg usually, right? Because you usually stick cloves into a whole ham. We're gonna try and clean out this mustard container today too. So sorry for the toots from the bottle. It's Easter next weekend there. It is same with here too. On the 31st, like last day of March this year. Okay, let's go with that for now. I'll just leave this standing up in front. How's our honey doing? Is it recrystallized again? Yes, Cookie. Patent and anti-toot squeeze bottle. She's been crystallized. I'm just gonna do a couple seconds in the micro. I gotta sneeze. Whew, I just pressed the button in time. That would have been so dang loud. Excuse me. Thanks, Wilson. I'm blessed. Do like 20-second increments for the honey. Mickey, you keep buying HelloFresh boxes. How many meals do you usually get in your box? I really liked when we did that before, when they sponsored us a bunch of times. It definitely helped when we were like working full time and then had to figure out what to cook. Okay, that honey did not liquefy at all. You'd show me a technique to get all the honey out? Well, we did help ourselves from taking it out of a very large container into the small mason jars. You get 2 full meals. Even that just helps, right? Most people have problems trying to figure out what to eat every day of the week. So if you help yourself out, get two that are already ready to go, you only have a couple more days to think of, right? Okay, it worked. The ham timer is going off right now too. That should be good. Just gonna let this cool off now before I put the lid on. Let's finish this up first. Gonna do some allspice. I only have whole cloves, so we're gonna do allspice and nutmeg instead. A little mixture. And these are quite strong spices, right? So you don't need a lot. When they say a pinch of nutmeg, they mean it. Just gonna take these back and get a little whisk to mix this. And so this is what I usually do with the honey mustard. Is obviously we don't put it on first because it'll start to burn over time. Is we'll carve the ham, slice it into our chunks for eating, pour this over the ham back in the roasting tray, and then pop it back in the oven a bit and it'll like start to absorb the honey mustard and get kind of caramelized. Insane. If you don't want it like kind of caramelized, just put the foil back over it and you're good to go. You went overboard on the allspice before and you learned your lesson. Yeah, a little bit goes a long way, right? So I'll just put that over to the side. Thank you, Yukimi 00 for the follow. Let's get our trivet. We're checking the ham out. I'm also gonna switch around how these pans are in here. Whoa. There's a lot of steam coming out. Oh, and I should have foiled, or sorry, parchment before I did the foil on top. Can you guys see those little like acid marks on the foil poking through? So that will happen if you don't create a barrier. It's like really hard to see. Let me go grab that parchment first, and then we'll let all of the heat out. Careful the steam too. Burn your fingy. And then all we're gonna look for here is the internal temp, right? Because it's already cooked, so we're just heating it to be able to carve it apart. So we're gonna go right in the center where the bone is. I didn't think it was gonna be ready. The bone's still reading like 65 degrees in the center there. So it probably just came up to a simmer a bit ago, but that's looking really, really good. Okay, so put this one barrier on top before we tuck it back in. Kind of looks like salmon by the color. A bit. Okay, so I'll do 30 more minutes and we'll check it again. Nice, guys. Okay, now we can focus on the chashu. You're having ham for Easter. That's a pretty popular one in my family too, I would say. On like both sides. Both Ukrainian and French. Okay, this goodness. So these are quite thick pieces of pork belly to be able to roll into a medallion. I think we'll have to slice them in half lengthwise, just so it's a thinner piece, and then roll it up that way. We'll see though when we get into it. And then I linked the recipe to make this. So let's just see. I think we have to sear it, and then we simmer it in a sauce or broth. Scroll it, scroll it, scroll it. Okay, lay pork belly on cutting board, roll it up lengthwise with the, if it has skin, facing out, or just the fatty side facing out. And tie it with butcher's twine. Easy. Okay, there's no searing involved on this at all. You just have to put all of the broth ingredients into a pot and boil it, and then you add the pork belly. And it says the pork belly will not be submerged. And you just simmer it in the oven either, or on the stove top for 3 to 4 hours. I would say start checking around 2.5, because every piece of pork cooks different, but I've had pork belly be really tender in 2.5 hours. Mickey, lamb is so expensive there. You think you're gonna have beef for Easter? And that's it, guys. And then after this pork is done simmering, I'm just gonna pop it in the fridge overnight in that broth, so it's gonna keep absorbing all night. And then tomorrow we take that out and slice it up. You can either just put it right into the soup, it says, to heat it, or a lot of places will like torch it to get a sear on it, or pop it on like the flat top or a frying pan to get it crispy. So let's do the first step, and then we'll get the aromatics in the pot. And that's it. I really thought it was more difficult. Who has had this before? Who knows what chashu is? And this is a Japanese dish. Yeah, right? Chashu for ramen, an art form of itself. It seems pretty simple though, bonk. I always thought it was way more complicated. You've never had it, Michael? Oh, it is so dang good. And it's true what Kenji says in the first part of this recipe. A lot of like the cheaper ramen places will try to do this quick. Like they won't cook the pork belly long enough, and then it's like super chewy, or they try to cook the pork belly too quick and then it's dry. So you'll know when you find a place that did it right. You'll be like, wow, my life has changed forever. I also picked some pretty fatty chunks for it too. I like when the fat just melts into the broth. So this is how we would like potentially roll it. I think maybe I can roll it, guys, without cutting it at all. It'll be difficult, like I'll only be able to get one piece of twine, but I think if I cut it, there's no way that we can even roll it. It says it's really important to get it tight though, and that's why I thought it would be smart to kind of take the pork belly out early and let the fat soften up. Because if this was right out of the fridge, it wouldn't be as pliable. This looks like beef, it's so dark. Holy smokes. Yeah, right? Good chashu. Like, if you're just eating your ramen with chopsticks, you can easily, like, cut the chashu with your chopsticks. To me, if you can't do that, they didn't make it right. This one is the hardest one, I think, because there's the most fat on here. But once we get the twine, we'll be able to get it more taut. I just wanted to get this initial shape. And then we'll cut our twine lengths that we need. I always cut longer than I need, because it's annoying when you cut it too short, so you just have to get a whole new piece anyways. Butcher's twine. Something like that is probably good. Let me just do a little tester to see. Yeah. And then you can just take this, lay it there, and you know you can make every other length the same. That's true, hey Michael? Yeah, all of the music I play on my stream is from Stream Beats, from a once upon a time Twitch streamer named Harris Heller. He's created all of this non-copyright music for the streamers. And yeah, a couple of his albums have this like sort of Asian Oriental vibe. It's so good. Okay, let's do this. So try to get it centered. And then I think we will tie it at the top up here. Don't know if that's tight enough. I mean, do your best, right? I'm gonna tie it until it hurts my hand. And that's good for me. Oh, if we turn it over, actually, that's pretty perfect. And then I just double knotted it, and I'm not gonna worry about like trimming that off right now. You can if you want. Maybe we will at the end when they're all done. Yeah, look at that compared to the loose one. Heck yes. I think it worked really good tying it at the top up here. Nice. I always like check underneath to make sure it looks good too, right? You can always retie it if you want. Oops, I think I messed that up. I let it go loose. I think I can fix it. I didn't go too tight. It's a good little task for your little fingies. Again, let's try this. We're like taught in culinary school to like keep our index finger here to like tie it, but I've always had like difficulty doing that and not having the knot get loose. Okay, see the other side, every time we flip it over, it looks perfect. Probably because it's like flat on the cutting board, right? Last one. The meatiest one. That one tied up so good because it's mostly just meat. Okay. We got our medallions. Do I want to trim this? Maybe. I think this is gonna turn out bonk. And then I'll probably just pop these in my cast iron brazier on the stovetop until the ham and stuff is out of the oven. Looks a little loose, that knot. Because we will need some sort of lid for this. That should fit all three. Heck yes. Last time I'm washing up here. Thanks, Rafools. Okay, now I know we need soy sauce and garlic and ginger and a couple other things to make this broth. Soy sauce, sake, mirin, sugar, so it's like a sweet and salty sort of mixture, and then green onion, garlic, ginger, and either shallot or onion, whatever you have. And all of this stuff, you don't really have to care too much about your knife skills. If it's a bit chunky, that's okay. Hi, Oiliana. Okay, let me get all of the liquids. I think I'll leave the sugar out because the mirin I have is a sweet one. That's cute, I didn't realize these bottles matched. Kikkoman for the win! Grab a measuring cup. Bing! Okay, half a cup of soy sauce. This hasn't even been opened yet. I think the ingredient where like you have to open it for the first time like this. I think the best one to do that with is peanut butter, right? Although it's not really the same since they took away the whole peanuts on top of the peanut butter. You guys remember when they used to do that? I'm just gonna pour it around everything. We don't have to cover the meat. For the mirin, so this one is a sweet one, like I said. We want a cup of this. Do they still do it for the chunky peanut butter? Couple of little crunchy bits on top. This is my sake. I just buy a cooking sake. I don't go to the liquor store and buy anything too crazy. A whole cup of that too. And so then the thing about this broth that we're making to cook this with, it's also going to be repurposed to make our soy eggs tomorrow. So you just take this after the pork's been cooked in it and you put your boiled eggs in there to marinate. So I thought that was actually awesome. Okay, that's all the liquids. Now we got to put some aromatics. Maybe it is regional, right? Or like depends on the brand. You never had whole peanuts on top of peanut butter? What was the brand? Skippy? That did it? I think the brand was Skippy. I can't remember if it was Kraft or the Skippy brand. Skippy the squirrel. Whoa. Whoa. Take it easy, Kate. Okay. You guys have never seen that. Dang. Yeah, we used to like fight about who would get to open the new jar of peanut butter. It's serious stuff. Okay, garlic, ginger, onion, green onion. Mickey, you got a cold again? It's okay, it's better to not push it. Because to me, like, the longer you take to get better and, like, focus on yourself, well, the longer you're gonna be sick, right? Take that time. Cut off the roots of this. The greens look pretty good. Good to go with that. Then usually if there's like anything weird, you can't really see because it's really bright, but I'm just gonna give this a rinse because it's dried on there. The weird stringy bits. Oh, that's the one, not Skippy, Squirrel. Good one, Rafools. Thanks for the throwback. Yeah, that's accurate. I don't even know if that brand exists actually anymore. So for this, we're just gonna cut 1-inch lengths. Seven star? I hope I said that right. Thanks for the follow. I got it. It's quite the challenge, you know, being a streamer and trying to decipher all the usernames. I've gotten pretty good over the years, though. Discontinued in 2000, the Squirrel brand? See? The reminiscing, it's not just me. You guys made me feel like I was crazy there for a bit. No, okay, it's just you. Smash this. It's nice to have juicy garlic again. Not like petrified, dried garlic. Wait, are you Canadian? You remember that peanut butter then? I wonder why they discontinued, because that was everyone's favorite brand. Amazing. Welcome in, friend. Love when my fellow Canadians find me on here. This is gonna be torture, by the way, when we start simmering this pork. The smell for hours. And then you can't even have it. You have to wait till the next day. Yes, yeah, your brother and you would rock, paper, scissors for it. I think I remember that happening too in our house. Or you like go to use the peanut butter in the morning and you're like, yes, I'm like gonna be the first one into it. Or you open the lid and see someone already stole the peanut off the top. No! You snooze, you lose. Yeah, that's like taking the prize from the cereal before you finish the box. See, at least the Americans had that part of it. Too funny. Okay, let's get some more thin slices of onion, I think. We're not gonna do all of it, though. Probably like that is good. Yeah, the hive mind. Distribute that around. And then honestly, after we marinate the eggs, I might even just put this broth into a container and freeze it to use it again. Because it just looks like it's going to be so good. You're the youngest by a lot, so there was no competing for cereal prizes. Lucky. Picking off some dry bits from the ginger. Is it like a dashi? Here's the recipe. It's the last one linked there from Serious Eats. We are making pork belly chashu. I would not really say it's a dashi because like we don't have the bonito and stuff like that in there. Get some thin slices of ginger. You guys will see that I'm not peeling it. This is gonna be insane. Okay, done. I got the pork belly pieces from Costco. They came pre-sliced like this, which I thought at first it was gonna be an issue, but so far it's actually been so easy to use it. I was really worried about how they would roll up. Much easier than I thought it was gonna go. Okay. Now this is gonna go on the stove top. That's our water pot for our corn to go with the ham. I'm just gonna set up the pork over there on the bigger burner. And we'll start it on medium heat with the lid on. And that way we'll know it comes up to a simmer because we'll see the steam starting to come out. That was way easier than I thought it would be. I thought we'd like have to sear it and do all this other fancy stuff. Sounds good, friend. Thank you very much for the lurk. And I'll be back cooking tomorrow as well if you wanna pop by. 11 a.m. Pacific is when we start every Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, what do we got on our timer? We have 3 minutes left on our next timer. Things are just rolling right along. Was that timer for the ham and the scalloped potatoes, actually? You can see how both things are coming along. So that will be an hour and a half total on the ham so far roasting. And just 30 minutes on the potatoes. Just gonna sneak a little bit of this mustard into here. We've been trying to clean out the container. So I flipped it upside down because we were getting annoyed by the mustard toots. Nice. Maybe one more round and then we're good. And then, like, as far as garnish and stuff for this dish, I usually don't put a garnish at all. It's quite a simple home-style sort of meal. Thanks, Bonk, gifting the sub to 7-star. Fellow Canadian who found us today. I'm gonna try this mix now. Yeah, now they have to stick around. This looks good though. I really like the kind of like mustardy bite at the end from the Dijon mustard, but the sweetness from the honey counteracts that right until the end, and then the mustard kind of like cleanses your palate. And we did really good on the spices. It's not bitter. You just taste the little bit of allspice and nutmeg, which those flavors will come out more when this starts to heat up. We're gonna carve the ham and then pour this back over in the roasting pan, back in the oven as the potatoes finish. And then we just have to boil some corn and that's it. Let's bring the trivet back over. They'll come back to a surprise. Surprise. I'm gonna peek on the potatoes first. This is a heavy little pan of potatoes, I will tell you. Nice. Look at that so far. Cover it back up. Don't let the heat out. Oh. All the smell of the brie. So we'll just pop that back in. I just wanted to make sure it was simmering along, which we're good to go. And now we're gonna check the internal temperature of the ham again, as it's literally going off the timer. Okay, so what? It was at 65 Fahrenheit the last time we checked it. Watch your fingies. We are now at 100. That's rising quick. See, I told you. So I'm gonna go maybe 15 more minutes. And then we should be good. You made Lancashire hot pot again tonight? Just for you or for your parents too? Oh, that is smelling good though. Like, I could probably start carving it, but it's always easier to carve meat when it is like all warm, right? There's no sense to rush if everything else is still cooking. And our oven's been at 325 Fahrenheit the whole time too. Okay, so let's prepare for the carving station. Yeah, you're welcome, 7-star. One of my wonderful mods gifted you the sub, so welcome to the kitchen crew. Mickey, do you already know what you're gonna have for lunch at the pub tomorrow? There was like fuzzes from my dish towel on there. And so we'll probably need a couple knives for carving the ham because of the bone. So I'll use my boning knife just to take all the meat away from the bone. And whether we use like our chef's knife or a slicing knife to get our nice slices, we'll go from there. Roast beef lunch in the new restaurant. That's been like taken over by someone else, right? It's not actually new. Michael. The hefty garbage bag commercial goes well with how hefty the scalloped potatoes are. They're so cheesy. This is gonna be crazy to try and serve them. Holy shnikey likey. That already is up. Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys over 1 sec. That did not take long. Guys, like, come on. I'm just gonna rotate this to get it heating more evenly as well. And then they say to like kind of have the lid sort of halfway off. Cookie, gotta head out to run some errands. Okay, I will see you tomorrow and good luck out there. I hope you get everything you need. That's looking good, hey Mickey? I am so excited for that. Okay, so that was simmering at 2 o'clock. By 6 p.m., it should be out and done simmering. So I'm just gonna set like an alarm or a really long timer. Like a 2-hour timer. And then we're good to go on that. I had my duck broth thawing today out of the freezer. to use up in our ramen broth tomorrow. You guys aren't ready for this. It's gonna be a turducken broth with pork belly. It's gonna be so heckin' delicious. Yeah, that was a weird angle, so I just like switched it, Mickey. I was like, whoa. Behind the scenes with Kate. Hello. Turducken broth. Well, because I have the liter of duck broth, and then once upon a time I had chicken broth. And then the next day we had turkey, so then I just turned all of the chicken broth into a chicken broth. And now tomorrow we're gonna marry all three of them together. Well, there's no pork in the broth. So it's a turducken broth with pork chashu. Imagine going to a ramen spot and having that. I've had some pretty fancy ramens when we were in Vancouver. Some spots would do like a seasonal special or whatever. Some interesting things like crispy Brussels sprouts is really good on there. Mickey Hitch's girlfriend is in Wales now. Nice. She's doing a little traveling. Is she biking or doing something else? That's how fast 15 minutes goes by. Like, there's 2 minutes left on the ham and we're carving it. Is that hilarious or what? Okay, so let me also grab a container. Or maybe I'll just make the broth today, even. Just right into a pot with the bones. That's usually what I do. Because I find if I put broth ingredients in the fridge, it doesn't often get made right away. She's biking, might be going to Manchester. Sweet! Okay, that's still like simmering pretty crazy. I'll show you. I'm trying to dial in the temperature, right? I already turned it down a bunch. I'm gonna go like really low heat for that. It's always easier to do this style of cooking though in the oven, right? Because it'll just keep one temperature for you. Just our oven is filled up right now. When we take the ham out, guys, we're gonna take the foil off of the scalloped potatoes. Don't let me forget. Hi, Goat Farmer Bluesy. Is that the one with purple hair? Yes. Sarah Bridgewater is her name. I've met Hitch a bunch of times, but I've never had the chance to meet Sarah because we moved away from there once they started streaming together. You're terrible with names? Oh, don't worry about it. I'm really terrible with names too. And then I guess the other thing, guys, is I can turn on our little blanching pot on the stovetop for the corn, because we'll be able to do that right away too. I think we're about 20 to 30 minutes from plating. The first thing, so I don't forget, we'll take this foil off. She's been steaming There's bubbles around the edge. Now, it's time to let it start browning and reducing, and I can also turn up the temp now that the ham is coming out. So let's go up to a 375 Fahrenheit. Yeah, you can't skip that step, right, Bonk? You need to have enough time to take the foil off and let it start to reduce more. Boom. How's this still over here? All right, our simmering is now controlled. I feel good. All right, careful taking this off one last time. Steam burns are so bad. So painful. And I'll save that foil. Same with this parchment. Just in case we need it for something. Okay, let me get a carving fork. Obviously, we're not picking that up with our hands. Bluesy. It's like it's not a typical stream weekend if you don't come in here and say that. Okay. Thinking about our next steps. I have a pot under the one scene here. We are going to... This really hot still? Not super hot. We're gonna take the oven rack away now. We don't need that. And we are gonna pour all of this broth and juices into the stock pot and get that out of the bottom. It's okay to leave a little bit if you want, but I wouldn't leave it all. Just do like a little bit in the bottom. Okay, now I'm gonna just move this, I think, over so that we have more room. Yes. Ba-na-na-na. Okay, so what we have to work on is just getting the ham away from these bones. So I'm just gonna take my boning knife and kind of follow this first one down from where it starts. Tell him. And yes, it's insanely hot when you do this, guys, so just be careful. There's another sneaky bone there. And like, if you need to chunk the ham, like, I'll just kind of show you what I mean. If you need to chunk the ham off like this to see what you're doing, that's okay, right? Okay, so it looks like it just all kind of goes on a little angle, and this one bone is done right here. Whoa, there we go. That's kind of what I was waiting for, that little like release. Whoa. Let me in there. There we go. Ta-da! Now all of that into the stock pot. I'm just gonna take that out. And now we have this huge piece to clean up. I might like trim out some of this like bloody stuff. Kind of weird. This is like a fully cooked product, right? But this is not going in the garbage. It's gonna go into the stock pot. Some people really like fatty pieces of ham though. So definitely make sure you leave some fatty chunks for those folks. Not everyone likes lean pieces of meat. I'm just gonna cut away some of this connective tissue that was around the shank. Like, it's still soft enough to eat, but it's kind of rubbery, right? And now from here, guys, I'm just gonna split this right in half. I think we did okay reheating it. Not juicy one bit. Like, look at that side. And yeah, fat is flavor. We always say that, right? Okay, this is like the weird stuff that I want to trim out right there. Bam. Done and done. Okay, so to me, this is quite like a large piece of ham to serve someone, so I'll often just split it in half. And then, important that we cut against the grain, right? So we need to go this way. And then you decide how thick you want it. You can go like 1/2 inch, kind of 3/4 inch thick. I don't like going too thin because I find it dries out really quick. But I'm just gonna switch from my boning knife to a serrated. It'll be easier. Hither. Wayne, are you gonna have any food? Okay. I want this nugget right there. Okay, pick that up. Right into the roasting pan. I'm gonna do this last chunk, and then that's probably good for me, guys. Serrated knives tear the meat. I don't know, this is like cured and smoked, right? So it's a bit of a different aspect compared to like a fresh roasted piece of meat. Chonkers. All right, let's just put this stuff to the side. It can start to cool off. And we will be making ham and split pea soup coming up on stream with all this. That's what we got. Actually, I'm gonna spread this out a bit first. So now we also kind of shingle our ham pieces, right? Because we're gonna pour our honey mustard over next. Which way is this supposed to go? Like that? ham and split pea soup is so dang good. It's one of my faves. And like, I don't make mine super duper thick like the habitant style, or make mine a bit more like frothy with veggies. Oh, it's so good. I think I picked a really good chunk of ham though from the store to start out with, right? I looked for the really fatty one, and that's what I went with. I'll get closer in here, I think, for the pour. Sounds good. Bluesy, thanks for popping in today. You haven't had ham and split pea soup for 10 years? I think it's time. Lift up this parchment. I don't like my ham like doused in this sauce. I still like to taste the meat. So if there's a bit extra, just pack it up. Save it for like chicken fingers or something for yourself, right? And now that's going back in the oven while the corn finishes. I don't want it to dry out, so I think I'm just gonna pop the foil back on top. Same with the parchment. I don't need my ham like caramelized and crispy. I know some other people do. I'd rather have moist meat. Or a massive piece of foil. Then I'll have a peek at those taters too. Holy, they're bubbling up and they look insane. I'm switching this because it's time to cook corn. And we're almost there, we could say. I just cranked this pot, so it should come up to a boil in no time. And we're just gonna do simple salt and pepper and some brown butter in the corn. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna fill up the ham stock pot with cold water, and I can get that going. I would say like once a week I'm making stock, whether it's like pork, chicken, turkey, anything else. Do you think that they're cooking, or do you think they're doing something else? Because we've like had this chat and it's like, okay, which way are they pounding out the meat? We're talking about our neighbors, guys. Third time today, then? My lord. I think I'll just strain the corn in the pot, guys. That'll be easy. That is it. Here's our browned butter. Look at that bottom part. All the tasty bits. That's why you call it brown butter. Hello, DeBear fan. How has your Saturday been? I thought this was gonna be a longer stream today, but we're almost done. You're home all day? Don't want to go out in the rain? That's so funny. Do you have things to do? You gotta say, I'm gonna melt. I can't go out there. Let that boil a little bit more before we pour the corn in, because it's gonna cool off the water. Oh, nice. Yeah, you just usually take like a daily walk. That's what I'm gonna do today. I don't have anywhere to go after stream. And it's finally nice out. It stopped snowing finally. So hopefully I get to go see some of my neighborhood kitties. So this corn will not take long at all. Couple of moments, that is it. While we're waiting, let's grab our plate. Also keep in mind the scalloped potatoes should probably like sit for a moment before we try and serve it. It's like one of the hardest things to serve. So dang messy. Like even if you're served like just a sloppy pile of scalloped potatoes, you're not upset. I just tried a piece of corn. Maybe one more moment. Okay, so I got a spoon for the corn. I need tongs for the ham, and then something for the potatoes. I'm thinking just like a spoon rather than a spatula. Or I'll bring over a pie server too. That might work for that pan. Mary, did you make you made the buns yesterday that I posted the link from Cookie? Let's see them, I'm looking. Nice. That looks like it worked so good, and your pulled pork looks delicious too, by the way. I like how you didn't like over pull the pork and make it gross and stringy. It's like nice and chunky still. Okay, turn this off, get it strained. And then we'll probably take our taters out to rest next. And really make sure you strain the water good from the corn so it's not soggy. Okay. You were shocked and pleasantly surprised you did it right. Brioche is actually pretty easy to make. So there's our nub of browned butter. Now we're gonna add some salt and pepper. And that's it. I like peppery corn, so I went pretty heavy on that. A good amount of salt too, because corn is sweet. Let that all melt in. and get absorbed. Smells so nutty. Trying a piece. Yup. You're making buldak carbonara instant ramen. Oh, I've always wanted to try that one. I saw a YouTuber in Denmark, I think she picked up that. She was looking for the carbonara noodles, but I haven't been able to find them here. Although I haven't looked super hard, like I haven't gone to TNT yet. Okay, it's potato time. This looks insane. The only thing I'm gonna check, just to be sure, is if they're all cooked through. I'm assuming it is. Yeah, this went through really easy. It's literally at like 205, 207, which is perfect. So, that is gonna rest now. We put brie cheese in between the potato layers, and then we topped it with marble cheese. That's why it looks really insane right now. I think the liquid is good. Like, that should all kind of harden up as it cools off and then soak back into the potatoes. Wild. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the oven off for the ham now. We're good to go. So we're just gonna let that rest a moment. Why is that always the case? Yeah, lactose intolerance can be ignored. It's like everyone I've ever met with a lactose intolerance allergy definitely does not follow it. Like, how could you though? Like, I have a gluten intolerance, and I will say it's probably been easier to deal with that rather than having a dairy allergy. Like, I basically have dairy in every meal. I don't need to have gluten in every meal, or wheat, let's say. If you want ice cream, Mary, you just take the Lactaid pill. I think they turned out bonk. Like, this layer of cheese that's crispy on the side. And we were worried about the amount of liquid in there. Let me do a jiggle test. Yeah, see? It's already hardening up. Okay. Let's also sneak the ham over, if that's possible. We'll start plating up slowly. Turn this. We can go 2 by 2. Okay, careful with the steam on this one last time. Your allergy's so mild that you can get by. Lucky. But the ice cream is the worst one. That's interesting, hey? Whoa. Let's also say this. If you want more honey mustard now that it's kind of been cooked in, well, I'm glad that I saved that little bit extra. Because I'll probably drizzle some over on the plate. Yeah, there's no way that you could even eat the scalloped potatoes unless you enjoy pain in your mouth. Yes, yeah, we were talking about that yesterday on stream actually. Aged cheeses don't affect those with lactose allergies. What am I thinking here? These 3 chunks? Nice. We'll get our corn on there. That's cool, Michael. You grew out of your lactose allergy. I always like that that is like a possibility, right? It doesn't have to be a forever thing. Okay, let's take this out of here for ease of serving these molten taters. The steam, right? It's terrifying. Okay, these are the 2 utensils I grabbed. I'm thinking that we'll be okay with the pie server. Let's see though. Yeah, that's who we were chatting with. Blood oak. Parmesan, pecorino, aged Goudas are so good too. What about Asiago, I wonder? Because I really love that one, but it's not like super popular. You know what else I love about scalloped potatoes? Is like the crunchy crust that sometimes builds up on the bottom of the baking pan. Oh, holy. I'm just like trying to feel here. Nothing's stuck. But what I am gonna do before I like go to serve it is we're gonna just cut it with my paring knife. I think this is more like a 3 portioner. We'll just cut it into thirds. Asiago is the American Parmesan. I just love the taste of it. I don't know why. And yeah, you're right saying that too, Vograx. Like there's a lot of different things on the market now for those people that are lactose intolerant. A lot of different dairy alternatives. That cut through so beautifully. Asiago's made from cow's milk and has lots of lactose. Well, now we know. Because like it tastes like an aged cheese, right? Okay, everyone say good luck. Should we just go for the center one? I don't even know where to start. Yeah, I think the center one is the safest bet here. Are you joking me right now? Whoa, 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 don't fall over. Are you freaking joking me with how good this looks? What's like the fancy layered French potato dish that's different than this? I forget the word, but when you like do like basically 100 layers of potato, that's seriously what this is reminding me of. We slice them so nice and thin. Yeah, Dauphinois, is that the one? I don't know if that's the one. Okay, it's looking a little like boring. So I'm just gonna try and brighten it up with a bit more of the honey mustard. And that's also why I don't overdo it on the honey mustard to start. Yeah, the pave, potato pave. Good one, Bonk. Professional. I'm just taking a photo, guys. I think we need a bit more light in our life for this too. Pave is crispy. So yeah, they cook it like that and then they slice it and then they rebake it so every edge of it is crisp. Insanity. Look it up, Blood Oak. Yeah, potato pave. I actually really like how this turned out. Hey, let's try this. Stop blinding myself. Also, I wanted to show you guys in this other view how the potato layers came out. Because look at that. Thank you, Happy, for the 200 bitlies. That's going towards my new sewing machine goal that I put up. Someone did a correct pave and Insta won a cooking show. Really? Okay, I don't even know what I want first, but it's probably the potatoes. That's like the most amount of labor in these taters today. Oh, let's get this crispy, cheesy side. Insane. They're really hot. Okay, that was the biggest, hottest bite ever, but I'm alive still. The brie definitely melted away. You can see here on the edge, there's a little bit of rind. I know we always used to make fun of my grandma because she's like just famous for like eating something that's too hot and then like you can't talk or do anything. Holy though. The buttery corn, but this is seriously an insane mixture. I'm just gonna kind of like spread it out so it can cool off a bit. What I like about this recipe, it's not like overly creamy. Even with how much cheese we put in there, right? It doesn't seem super heavy. I don't know if that's just because we sliced the potatoes really thin. It's seriously so hot. Like it looks like it's not hot, but in between all of those layers, straight up steam, right? Yeah, you can't taste anything when it's that hot, right? You're just trying to get it out of your mouth so you don't have a 3rd degree burn. I'm just grabbing a little knife for the ham. Nice. I mean, I'll show you this because we did it a little different. I followed the recipe and we steeped the milk and cream with aromatics instead and then just strained it out. But the onions are really good in there too because they have this really nice sweetness, right? There's been times where I just roast julienne onion and then sprinkle that on top before you bake it with the foil. Oh, it's really good. Mm. It's not too sweet. It's not too mustardy. I like the texture of the ham too. I don't like when it's like super rubbery. You guys know what I mean when I say that? At your place, you all like the onions in it? Well, they basically melt into the dish, right? You would almost know or not know that they are there. Thank you, Michael. Yes, hush puppies. Good one, Bonk. An all corner cornbread is a great way to describe that. If you're someone that likes crispy cornbread. Like, hush puppies aren't popular in Canada for sure. That's something you probably have to make yourself. Guys, I can't get it on the fork. It's an actual tragedy. And then I don't know about you guys, but I always save the top layer of the scalloped potatoes. Same with like lasagna and stuff. For right till the end. It's the best part. Yeah, I don't even know if I've ever had them in a restaurant in Canada. Look at how easy those potatoes cut through. Just melt in your mouth. It's starting to get really hot there again, so I'll stop. If you said that to someone, Blood Oak, oh, I'm having hush puppies today, they'd be a what now? I'd be like, what kind of puppy? Is this a new breed? That's true. Yeah. I mean, you make them, so now you have to tell everyone else what they are. The ham is good too, like the brine and the smoke they did on it. I hate when ham is like over salty, right? Or too sweet as well. And then same with smoke flavor, I find. Like if it tastes too fake, the smoke flavor, if it's over smoked too much, it's not the best. Yeah, hush puppies are Southern USA fried treat. It's true, Tony. Okay, guys, we did it. Another one done. I'm just looking for someone to go raid. If you have suggestions, let me know as well. There's a couple that's making white chocolate raspberry cupcakes. That looks good. Bye, friend. It was nice meeting you today. Enjoy your dinner. That was my belch of approval for myself. Thank you very much. You can get hush puppies at your local fish and chip spot. What? What? But yeah, they don't offer cinnamon butter with it. That just like puts it over the edge. Did I cook in Michelin restaurants? No. I've never cooked in a Michelin restaurant. Cooking without looking is making buffalo mac and cheese, or sorry, buffalo chicken mac and cheese. I think I want to meet this new couple and see what's what. I think that is spelled right. Okay, it's set up. We did it. Thank you, Bonk, for that. Alright, so they're making white chocolate raspberry cupcakes. Nom. That's also very good flavor for like a scone too. Friends, thanks for being here with me today. I hope that I inspired you to eat better, cook more often for yourself, shop more wisely, don't always buy things that aren't on sale. I think that's it. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, crossing off another pots and pans menu redemption actually for Greek. And we're gonna make this delicious miso ramen with the pork belly chashu that is cooking on the stovetop right now. Saturday night plans, just taking it easy. I went out last night after stream, hung out with my bro for his birthday a bit. That was good. I'm just gonna go for a walk because I haven't been outside in a few days. Take care, friends. Stay safe out there. You know where to find me if you need anything at all. Make sure you join our Discord for all of the recipes and the weekly schedule. Let's go meet Xylent Flex and spread the deliciousness. I'm gonna hit this button. See you tomorrow. Bye.